Hey everyone, if you're a rich guy, but you've still not got any success with women, I'm going to tell you exactly step by step how to leverage your money and leverage your status to get more success with women, to get more dates. So stay tuned. What I'm going to tell you, I've not seen anywhere else on YouTube. So this is well worth the watch.
Been a long time without you. Been a long time without love. Everything reminds me of you. But everything is not.
Hey everyone, thanks again for tuning into the Fun, Love and Money channel. Today, this is around the attraction theme. So, if you're a guy and you've got your stuff together, you've got good money, you've got a good job, you've got good status, but for some reason, you're still not able to get any luck with women, you're still not able to get into a relationship, you're still not able to get dates, I'm going to tell you exactly how you use your wealth and you use your status to get more success with women. Okay, so a bit of a few points to bear in mind before we start. So first thing, I'm not advocating spending money on women willy-nilly, showering them with gifts, taking them out to fancy places willy-nilly. I'm not advocating simping in any way, shape or form. What I'm also not saying is that you should use your wealth or your status to manipulate anybody or to do anything that isn't right or is something that is morally wrong. So if that's what your plans are, if that's what you're wanting to learn to do, please switch off now and go and watch somebody else. Because what I'm going to tell you is exactly how you can show the best version of yourself, because ultimately the man made the money never made the man. But you need to show that when you're looking to generate a level of attraction with women. What I'm also going to talk to you about is an actual real life case study of a situation that I actually was in and how I was able to generate attraction using my wealth and status in a kind of correct, classy way. So I'm going to talk you through that as well. Okay, so in order for this to work, there has to firstly be a base level of attraction. What I mean by that is that she doesn't have to fancy you or think you're amazing or to think you're actually a beautiful, gorgeous God. You just have to present yourself in a way that you're not creepy, you're not cringesome, in a way that women are not going to be instantly repulsed by you and you're not going to give them the ick, which I understand is the in word at the moment. So dot your I's and cross your T's, iron your shirt in the morning, make sure you're well groomed. If you've got a beard, make sure it's trimmed, make sure you go to the barbers, make sure you brush your teeth, make sure you look respectable. And then what you need to do is then you need to learn how to leverage your money and your status to increase your success with women. Okay. The benefit of having money and status is that money and status affords you the ability to have a lifestyle and a way of life that isn't accessible to everybody else. Okay. What that means in real life is that you will mix in certain circles and you will do certain things that your average regular Joe will not do. You'll have the opportunity to do more exciting things. You'll have the opportunity to do more enriched things. Okay. Now, here's the catch. You need to be able to convey that to a woman in a way that she will know that if she enters your frame, she will also be able to share those experiences with you. But you need to, again, do this in a non-simp way. And this is where kind of the issue comes along. So you've got a guy who's got his money together and he thinks, oh, he'll just buy women random gifts and things like that. And the relationship and the connection isn't actually at that stage. So what I'll do now is I'll talk you through an actual case study of an experience that I had where I used my status to be able to generate attraction with somebody. So my day job, I work in the pharmaceutical industry, and my job is basically to go from hospital to hospital, presenting and speaking to doctors about our products and basically, in effect, selling to them, talking to them about the clinical data behind what we do and how we're better than the competitors. Beautiful, really enjoyable job. I love it very much. I'm in different places every day, meeting new people. One particular occasion, I was in a hospital cafe. I needed to sort of send some emails and do a bit of admin on my iPad. So I decided to go and get a coffee. As I was kind of queuing up, I noticed that there was a lady who was working in the cafe who I thought, oh, she looks kind of nice. So, sorry, the light's a bit better with that up. So I thought, oh, you know, I'll try and see if I can do something. So I turned up dressing really smart, nice suit, nice shirt, everything looking on point. So I went up to her and ordered my coffee, made sure I made eye contact with her, a nice smile, thank you, looks really good, went over and sat down, started carrying on with my work. What I noticed was, as it was a bit quieter, the cafe started to die down, and she came out and she started cleaning the tables and sweeping the floor out next to me. I kind of looked over to her and smiled and kind of said hi. And then as she came closer to me, I looked up to her and I said, how long have you been working here? I don't think I've met you before. Okay, so I'm initially positioning myself. So this is kind of a take on the age-old chat-up line of, you go up to a girl and you say, oh, I know you from somewhere. Where do I know you from? So this is just a modified version of that same chat-up line. So I said to her, asking her a question, oh, I've not met you before. How long have you been working here? She answered, about 2 years. This was quite a while ago, so I can't remember the exact details, but I'll give you the general gist, will be enough for you to understand. And I said, oh, I'm surprised you've been working here 2 years. I've not met you before. I mean, I don't normally go to that cafe, so it's very unlikely I would have met her. My name's Parham. Are you the manager here? So then I kind of up elevated her. I realized she wasn't the manager, but I kind of wanted to pay her a compliment. I said, oh, you're not the manager. No, I'm not. I just work here. And I noticed that she had an Eastern European accent. So kind of somewhere along the conversation, I said to her, oh, where's your accent from? And kind of gave her a compliment, said, oh, I like kind of traveling a lot. And she said she was from Latvia. And I thought, oh, that's really interesting. I've not been to Latvia, but I've been to Estonia, which is next to Latvia. And then I kind of went on to other conversations. I can't remember the exact words around the holiday. But here is the big in, and here is where you have to use your money and your flex and your lifestyle in there. We got onto the conversation of holidays. I kind of steered the conversation into that direction. So you have to do this very subtly. You don't want it to be where you're steering the conversation into for you to have an opportunity to show off. So then I was talking about, oh, I was in Spain and it's absolutely amazing there, so peaceful. I've got a house out there, it's all up in the mountains, and you're kind of describing it. What I did then was I said, oh, I'll show you. And she was like, oh, there was interest there. Now, if there's no interest and it becomes one-way traffic, just cut the situation, say, oh, look, really nice to meet you, nice to talk to you. I've got a lot of work I need to get on with. I see you're really busy as well. Nice to meet you. Have a nice day. I think her name was Dana, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, I'm quite good with names normally. So we were talking, I got out my instantly I thought, right, here's my cue, ticket in. I got out my Instagram. Now, my Instagram wasn't an objective of me to just show her the photos from Spain. On my Instagram at the time, I had lots of nice photos of me doing lots of really interesting things in clubs, on holidays, in nice cars, on track days, on motorbikes, on boats. So as I'm kind of flicking through my Instagram, she's looking and I'm showing her the houses in Spain. And then as I'm flicking through, I'll say, oh, that was really cool. That was when I went to Brands Hatch. That was really interesting. And then you can see her interest beginning to peak. And then she started asking questions. She was asking about what I did, where I lived, how long I lived in England for. I was kind of born here. And then her attraction level was really high at that point. And then when it kind of comes to an end where you've kind of done what you want, try and end the conversation. So I said to her, look, I've got to finish off a few bits and pieces. I'll chat to you in a minute. She was like, oh, okay, yeah, sorry. Again, showing that you're a busy guy, you're a man about your business, which is really important when it comes to attraction. You have to be a man about your business. So then I kind of carried on with my work. And then as I was leaving, I kind of went over to her and said, oh, thanks a lot. It was really nice to talk to you, Dana. Listen, when are you in next? And I think she said she worked, I can't remember whatever days she said she works. And I said, oh, hopefully I'll see you again. What I then asked her was, are you on Instagram? It'd be good to give you a follow to keep in touch. She wasn't on Instagram. She was on Facebook, but she was more than happy to give me her details. I think we exchanged numbers. I don't think I pursued it any further than that. But that was how you would use wealth to generate attraction. And with wealth, it's not about having pounds in your bank statement. So it's not about looking at your bank statement every month and thinking, oh, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. It's about having access to a certain way of life and a certain lifestyle, and you giving somebody else the opportunity to enter into that lifestyle. And what I'm telling you, I've never been somebody who's just been into pulling and shagging and everything like that. I've been looking to get into relationships. And what I would say again with what I mentioned earlier about showering women with gifts, if she treats you like a king, then you treat her like a queen, and don't go over and start simping and buying things if it's not reciprocated. And if it's not, the exchange of value isn't there for you and it's not reciprocated, there's no harm in you just moving on in whatever the situation is. I hope that's been helpful. I hope that will help guys that are wealthy who are struggling to get dates to get some better successes with women. Please like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.